Hello and welcome. So today, guys, I want to share with you 5 designer fragrances that have made it to the very top of my list. During 2024, I'm sure you will agree with me, there have been so many new fragrances that have been launched, whether it's in Middle Eastern, whether it's in Western niche, whether it's designer. I mean, just a ton of fragrances. And today what I wanted to do was share with you of all of the designer fragrances that have been launched in 2024 that I have tried or that I have picked up. I want to share with you the 5 fragrances that, in my opinion, are perfect for the fall and extremely exceptional fragrances. I did want to let you know that I have not blind bought any of these fragrances. Some of them I just got samples as soon as they were launched and then decided to pick up a full bottle. Others I did get, small decants from friends. And these are just fragrances that, again, I decided to commit to a full bottle because of how much I love them. In addition to that, I did want to let you know that I have shared other designer fragrances here during 2024 that were launched in 2024 and that I absolutely loved. And at the beginning of the video, I will go ahead and do an honorable mention for 3 fragrances that are not part of the 5 that I'll be sharing with you today, but that I think really deserve to be in the list of top picks for 2024 as it relates to designer. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and in this channel we love to talk about fragrances in general, whether they're affordable, Middle Eastern, Western niche, designer, and body scented products. We just love to smell fabulous. I upload videos multiple times a week, and sometimes you even get a bonus video. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let's go. All right, guys, so I have, as I said in the opening, 3 fragrances that I will do an honorable mention for because they are truly fragrances that I love. And the first one that I want to share with you is from YSL, and it's Libre Flowers and Flames. And I have a dedicated video for this fragrance where I give you not only a detailed review, but I compare it to YSL Libre Le Parfum and YSL Libre the original. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and do a search on my channel page and you will find it. The second fragrance that I want to do an honorable mention for is from Versace, and this is Crystal Noir, and this is Le Parfum, which is also a 2024 launch, and I did do a detailed review of this fragrance here on the channel, so I'm not going to go into all that detail, but what I can tell you is that of all the designer fragrances that have been launched in 2024, guys, this has got to be the sexiest of all fragrances. This is a designer fragrance that, to my nose, does not even smell much like a designer fragrance. It's more like of a niche type of DNA. But guys, when I tell you, it is so sexy and a very high compliment getter. The third fragrance that I want to do an honorable mention for is a fragrance that was the first fragrance that I picked up from this line. And it is from Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is from the Scandal line, and this is Scandal Absolu. And this is a fragrance, guys, that I have loved so much that it made me pick up 2 of the others within the Scandal line. But anyway, this is an absolute delight. Please let us know if you've picked up any of those 3 fragrances that I just did an honorable mention for. And what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me that they should be part of the top picks for 2024 within designer releases? All right, guys, so let's jump right into it. The first fragrance that I want to share with you today is Lancome La Nuit Tresor, but this one is Le Parfum. So this fragrance, as I said in the opening, of course, is a 2024 launch, and it's part of a whole line. And this is my first one, but it will not be the last because now I'm curious about the others. This is Le Parfum, and this is supposed to be a floral, fruity gourmand. And at that, it definitely is. This is definitely a feminine fragrance. This is not unisex at all to my nose. This fragrance opens up very, very fruity. Guys, this smells so good. Oh my goodness. Please let us know if you picked up this one and what you think. So this opens up very fruity. It is definitely a sweet fragrance. You need to like a sweet fragrance to really like this one because this is definitely a very sweet fragrance to my nose. It's also warm, spicy. It's got some patchouli, and there's like an earthy quality that grounds the fragrance, not making it just like a fruity lala, type of fragrance. There's also a very dominant rose note in this fragrance that I start to pick up not in the opening, but towards the midway of the olfactory journey. There's also a hint of cacao in here, which I don't pick up in the opening, but I do pick up, I would say towards the dry down, and then at the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance, the cacao, at least to my nose, is in the background at all times. And I also pick up on a tad bit of smokiness at the dry down, even though, there are no notes that they have shared that would justify my picking up on a bit of a smoky quality to the fragrance, but I do get that. Now, is it a smoky fragrance, defined as a smoky fragrance? No, I just pick up like on a hint of smokiness of some sort. I can't explain it, but that's what I get. This is a fragrance much like the Versace Crystal Noir fragrance that I did an honorable mention for, that I would say is best suited for like the fall, winter, and early spring months. This is not a fragrance that I would pull necessarily during the summer because this is a very dark, sexy, very full-bodied kind of fragrance. This is a fragrance that I would not even use for morning or very casual occasions. To me, this is for dressier occasions, late afternoon, evening, and definitely into the night. This fragrance does have no oud and I think is best suited, I would say, for 25 plus without a problem. This also is a fragrance that does project really well during the first hour and a half. I never get a strong projection for more than that hour and a half. And then it does become a scent bubble, and a very strong one at that. This is not a beast mode fragrance, but it will give you a full day wear. All in all, this is a very sexy fragrance that I can tell was designed to be a sexy fragrance, and I give it a 9 out of 10. All right, guys, so this next fragrance is a fragrance that, to be honest with you, I really wondered if I was going to pick up a full bottle or not because I do have the original. This is a flanker of another very loved fragrance that I absolutely love. And from reading the notes and hearing some of the comments, I thought to myself, why pick up another full bottle? So I got myself a sample from one of the stores, and honestly, guys, I just felt like I needed to have this bottle. And I'm speaking about Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion Intense. Now, I have the original Devotion, and I have a very detailed review of that fragrance here on the channel. And to be honest with you, I did prepare an entire comparison between Devotion Intense and Devotion, the OG. I've just never filmed it. I may still do that, but I had to include this fragrance in today's list because I absolutely love this fragrance. I can tell you from the start that this one is very similar to the OG, but what I find in this one is a nuttiness and a booziness, my goodness, a booziness that I do not find at all in the original. Much like in the original, this one opens up with an incredible, oh my goodness, guys, I just love this. If you love a gourmand that has a ton of vanilla, I mean a ton of vanilla, you've got to get your nose on Devotion Intense. So Devotion Intense does open up like the original with all of that vanilla, and it is sweet, but immediately I start to pick up on a nuttiness and a booziness that I do not find in the original whatsoever. And that's what hooked me on and made me pick up a full bottle of the Intense. This one is also, in my opinion, a bit brighter than the OG, and I pick up on some white florals in a way that I don't pick up in the OG. There's also a bit of citrusness here that I do get in the OG. In the OG, the citrus notes, though, for me are a bit more marked because if I recall correctly, when I did the review in the other video of the OG, I told you that to me it smells like a lemon butter kind of pound cake that has just been baked and sprinkled with powdery sugar on top. This is the same, but just add some nuts to it and you've got yourself an incredibly beautiful gourmand. This one also does have quite a bit more florals to it, and then the citrus notes are done a bit airier than in the first one, less syrupy, let's call it, and then of course that does give it more of a brighter feel than the OG. This is also a fragrance like the OG that is powdery. Not very powdery, but at the dry down, I definitely get powderiness. This is an incredibly addictive fragrance, guys. Once you start sniffing it, oh my goodness, and it performs so well. So, you know, once you spray a bottle and you can just take off the cap and sniff it and get the entire feel of the fragrance, that tells you a lot about the performance of the fragrance. And this is one that will give you a full day wear, and it is going to get you compliments, but people have to be into a gourmand fragrance in order to give you a compliment with this one, because although it does have quite a bit of white florals to my nose, and it is disclosed in their notes, I can tell you that this is not about the florals. This is a true-on gourmand fragrance where the vanilla is at the center of it all, and that nuttiness is in the background but very present, pairing with the vanilla at all times. And then those citrusy notes come to sprinkle a new depth and a new kind of perspective to the fragrance. This is a fragrance that I think all ages can get away with, and I would say this is definitely not unisex. I think that this one is truly very feminine. But hey, you wear what you want because this is really a gourmand. But I just really feel that this is more of a feminine fragrance. And it is definitely one that you can, again, use for any occasion, but I would limit it to cold weather. All in all, guys, I definitely give this one a 9 out of 10. So the next fragrance that I have for you is also one that is the first one for me within this line. I've never picked up any of the Olympea perfumes, and I don't also have any other Rabbane fragrances. So this is the first one for me, and I can tell you this is not going to be the last one because I'm really enjoying this one. So this is a fragrance that opens up with a ton of white florals. To my nose in the opening, this fragrance is all about the white florals with some degree of vanilla. But the center here, the attention grabber in the opening, is definitely that white florals bouquet. It's a sweet with a tad of greenness type of fragrance that is also very aromatic, and it is on a musk base without a shadow of a doubt. You're going to pick up on that almost immediately. But at the dry down, you're definitely going to get those white florals surrounded by almost all the notes that have been shared with us. It is quite a complex fragrance without actually giving you that complex feel. It feels like it's easy to wear and a simple fragrance, but not linear at all. And it does have quite a number of notes. I really do enjoy this fragrance, and I'm so happy that I picked it up. I think I'm going to try a couple of the other highly rated Olympea perfumes or flankers that, you know, because I've never picked up one of these, and I really do enjoy this one. To me, this is a fragrance that is not unisex. This is definitely a feminine fragrance, but that's just my opinion. And I think that this is a fragrance that can be used by all ages. I would definitely say this is more of a fall, winter, and cool weather spring day. I don't think that this is one that I would pull necessarily during the summer. This fragrance has absolutely no oud. As I said, I think it's best for 25 plus. And this is a fragrance that you can use for any occasion, basically, day or night. This is just also a very easy pull fragrance. This is like I said, while being a complex fragrance that does have a very nice blend to it, it's a very simple pull, like a no-brainer. You want to smell good and you want a variety of, florals and vanilla, etc. Then you just pick this and some fruitiness. And it's just a very easy grab fragrance. This fragrance does give me a moderate sillage and a moderate projection. And with it, the most I've been able to get, even when I overspray, is 7 hours. I never get more than 7 hours from this fragrance, and it does give me a rather strong projection during the first hour, but after that, at least on my skin, it does become a skin scent. All in all, guys, this is just a very easy to pull type of fragrance, and I really am loving this DNA. I think I'm going to try a couple of other flankers from this line. And all in all, I do give it an 8 out of 10. All right, guys, so the next fragrance that I want to share with you is from the Donna Karan collection that was launched in 2024. And if you may recall, I did review here on the channel the Cashmere and Palo Santo one, and I do love that fragrance. So when I picked up that one and I loved it so much, I decided to get myself a sample of a couple of the others that were really striking my interest. And I picked up the Tiara one, and then I also picked up this one, which is the Cashmere and Wild Fig. And I have to tell you, I am absolutely in love with this one. So it's just recently that I received this bottle, that I finally ordered it, because I did have a 10 ml decant and it worked very, very well for me. But I have to tell you, this fragrance is exquisite. But this is more of a fall, spring, and summer type of fragrance. This is not one that I would pull during the winter. So this right now is more specific to the fall than anything. But this is a fragrance that is another very non-offensive, easy to pull, signature scent worthy kind of fragrance. I find that the Palo Santo one is a bit more intense and it has a bit more personality, and you can pull it off during the winter. This one is just such an easy but lovely, lovely fragrance to have in your collection. Like when you're in doubt and you don't know what to pull, but you want to smell exquisite and beautiful, this is the fragrance. This fragrance has no oud, and it is perfect, in my opinion, for all ages. And this is definitely a feminine fragrance, in my opinion. This is not really unisex. This is really a full-on feminine fragrance. So this fragrance is floral, but at the same time it's fruity, and it has a very dominant rose note. But I'm going to tell you right now that that rose note, it's a very fresh and young rose. There is nothing dated or jammy or anything like that about this rose. This is a barely bloomed fresh rose. That's what you get in this fragrance, because there is a freshness to this fragrance that makes it, that's what I think makes it so manageable, so wearable. This fragrance also has a bit of earthiness to it and a bit of a mineral quality. But all in all, this is a very different fragrance than anything else that I have in my collection in general. It's just a very different fragrance. When I first sniffed it, I thought that maybe this was a tea-based fragrance from the way that I could sniff it and that it wore on me. But no, guys, this is just a very smooth and lovely done kind of fragrance that, again, you could make your signature scent if you're into that type of DNA, or a fragrance that you can pull for absolutely anything, because you could use it for any occasion, day or night. All right, guys, so the last fragrance that I want to discuss with you today. Oh my goodness, guys, this fragrance has me on a chokehold. This is, this could very well be my favorite designer launch of 2024. And I don't know what others have said about this fragrance. I am very curious to hear from you if you got yourself a sample or a decant or you picked it up. because when I tell you I'm obsessed with this fragrance, I have to literally put it down and control myself to not keep pulling it every day because I absolutely love this fragrance. And I'm speaking about Valentino, Donna born in Roma, but the gold. Now, this fragrance is a floral, fruity, gourmand fragrance, but to me, it is just exceptional. It is definitely exceptional. This is, I'm going to tell you right now, a 10 out of 10. Guys, I cannot wear this fragrance without getting a ton of compliments. A ton of compliments. This fragrance is, oh my goodness, it is just so special. Oh my goodness, so special and so beautiful. It opens up with a ton of white florals. And in the opening, I also get a very strong citrus accord. It's a combination of citrusy notes, and I also get the most exquisite vanilla. And it's not a little bit of vanilla, no, it's a ton of vanilla. Now, you guys may remember that I am absolutely in love with the green extravaganza that was also launched at the beginning of 2024. Well, this one took its place for sure. This one right now is my favorite from all of the flankers that I have from this specific collection because it is absolutely everything. This fragrance, although it's not necessarily just a summer fragrance, it has like a tropical vibe to it because it has a very present to my nose note of coconut. There's also a bit of a lactonic quality to it, and to my nose it's coming from that combination of coconut and vanilla. But when I tell you, it just smells so yummy while also making you smell so beautiful. It's just really hard, in my opinion, to create or strike the right balance between a floral, fruity, and gourmand kind of fragrance. But in this one, they mastered it because this is absolutely beautiful. To me, this is the absolute best from this entire collection. This fragrance has absolutely no oud, and I think it's perfect for all ages, for any occasion. It is definitely a signature scent worthy kind of fragrance, and it is a fragrance that you could probably pull off any season of the year. I just wouldn't wear it on a very hot day, but this is perfection. I can tell you that my husband and I went to a restaurant and we went for brunch, and the lady that was helping us, she immediately asked me what I was wearing, and she immediately went online, like right in front of me, and she placed the order because that's how much this fragrance projects and the sillage, and it's going to give you more than a full day wear. The projection, I mean, this is a fragrance that borders on beast. The projection on my skin is strong for 2 hours plus, and it is a fragrance that will give me easy 9 to 10 hours, easy. And it's also a fragrance that I wouldn't say that it's an easy grab for me. You know, it's more of a mood. But because it's so addictive, you're going to want to pull it over and over and over. At least that's what I've experienced with it. I tell you, I am so happy with this one. This one is my absolute favorite. Please let us know if you've tried it or if you picked it up, and what has your experience been when wearing it on skin, because oh my goodness, I'm absolutely in love. I give this one for sure a 10 out of 10. Alright guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I have to tell you that I am so happy with those 5 fragrances. Oh my goodness, they are all very special designer releases, and I have so many others to share with you. They may not all be within my absolute favorite, but they are definitely fragrances that have captured my heart in one way or the other. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.